God motivates everything. Okay. God motivates everything.
And you see the feature is, you know, just a humble artist, man. I've been through a lot, man. My journey from where I was to where I am, man, it wasn't real easy. You know, it was a struggle. Life within itself, man. Growing up in a, you know, one of those neighborhoods that, you know, most people didn't feel like you should go in or grow up in. Growing around the people that you grew up around, doing the things that I did. And it's just, you know, to be where I'm at today, man, when I look at a lot of people who I grew up with that ain't here and I made it, you know, and I was in those same situations, those same predicaments. So as a man, you know, to me and myself, you might look at me and see where I'm at and think I'm a successful man, but I see my failures, I see my hurt. So it's like, there's no pride in me about what I do. I'm proudful to be a servant of Christ, but I'm not prideful the way I'm arrogant about who I am or where I'm at. Like, I'm just thankful that I'm even allowed to do what I do. Thankful that he even covers me in enough grace to even say that he gives me the ability to speak my mind and speak like I do, and to speak through me. So it's like, if you really look at it, man, I'm just a humble servant, man. You know, my dude, Kevin, man, you know, shout out to him because he took the name from me, but well, what it was, you know what I'm saying, it was a period in my life when I was really struggling. I was struggling with a lot. I had my own place, man, but at the time I was losing my place. I had 2 jobs I was working in. I lost both of them at the same time, and at the same time I was losing my house. I lost my car. I lost the woman who I was sharing my life with, and I found out, you know what I'm saying, something that really kind of hurt me to my heart about my son. So it was so much going on in my mind, man. But I was stuck in the house, and I was just stuck to myself. And one thing I always learned growing up, I grew up in the church, was, you know, it's healing in the Word. So during that time, I was just always reading the Word and talking to God, trying to figure out why wasn't I receiving the fullness of my blessing? Why was I struggling? So why was nothing in my life that I touched succeeding? And what happened was he showed me. He was like, you're not succeeding because you're not where I want you to be. And it was like, it was a new revelation to me, because it's like he had to take everything from me that I worked hard to achieve, everything that I love, for me to realize that, you know, without him, I'm nothing. And he had to bring me down to nothing for me to see that. So it was like, it took that, man, but it was like, you know what I'm saying, I got to the point where I realized that there's no success if you're not in Christ. The name really came from, you know, when I was doing secular music. I called myself the Future because I was looking at the fact that I was trying to be the future of the industry, the future artist, something that they never had before. And as I was crossing over, as I was making that change into Christian music, it was an artist that came out with that same name, you know, just no duh, and it was just Future. So when he dropped, man, a lot of people was hearing him thinking it was me. And so they kept calling me like, oh, you got a show, oh, you doing this? I'm like, nah, that's not me. So it kind of took like a blow to my heart, because it's like, now I got to change my name because somebody else got it. But what happened was my family, they called me AC because of my initials in my name. And a lot of times when people hear it, they be like, oh, you after Christ, because I switched my life over. So I was like, after Christ, I kind of liked it. And I started with just running with AC, but, you know, the people who already were fans of my music, they actually supported me crossing over, but they were fans of my past music because, you know, we shared a life. They was like, yo, bro, man, I'm going to always see you as Future. I can't see you as nothing else. So I was like, well, what can I do? If, you know, the people that knew me don't want me to change my name, and the people that know me now, they see me as this name. So I was like, well, let me just combine the two and see how it goes. And when I did it, everybody was happy. So I was like, okay, that's what I roll with then. Turning Signal, man, the idea came to me during the time, the idea came to me during the time when I was writing. And I was thinking about what I'm going to name my project. Like, what would I name it? It had to be, because I wanted this project to be personal. It wasn't about, you know, coming out there as some perfect guy who's like perfectly about Christ, because that's not me. I always believed as an artist to give people my heart. So when I wrote this, I was like, what is something significant to what's going on in my life? And I was like, well, I've been going down the wrong path, and I'm just beginning to get on the right path. But I'm not even saying that I'm already on the right path. It's like I just know that I'm on the wrong path and I'm changing. So what would you call it? And I'm like, oh, this is my turning signal. This is me turning from the life that I was, but I ain't even saying that I'm already super saved. It's just me turning from the life that I was to the life where I need to be. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna roll with that. GME. GME originally stood for Grown Man's Entertainment. And it was something that me and two other guys sat down and decided we was gonna start, you know, and we was gonna try to make it our own, establish ourselves without having to sign to another label, like just build it from the ground up. And we really believed in it and pushed it. And what happened was, you know, when I decided that, you know, I'm changing my life over and I'm crossing over to Christ, I looked at everybody that was with me and everybody who believed in me, because I was like over the company, and I was like, well, I'm not trying to force my opinion on them, but I still wanted to keep what I started in a way, you know, because everybody knew that I was with GME. So I was like, how can I do it? How can I do it? So what I did was I stepped down as leader over Grown Man's Entertainment, but I carried over the GME, and I turned it into God Motivates Everything. So that's what it stands for now as me. And I'm like, you know, and when I did that, it was like two other people who also believe the same thing I believe, who was actually an influence into my life. And one of those is the artist known as Story, and the other one is the artist known as BZB. And we came together and we was like, yo, it's gonna be God Motivates Everything. And we just like, we're gonna do it and we're gonna push it just like how we pushed it when we were secular. So it was just a coming together of three people and three minds, man, just like the first time. 3 people, 3 minds. Where am I headed? You know, when I look at it, man, you know, it's like I'm all humble about it and I'm really letting God lead me. But the vision that he gave me was, you know, and I confirmed it by sitting down with my religious leader, my pastor, and I told him, I was like, you know, God put it in my heart that my music isn't going to be pointed towards the church. It's not going to be, when I say that, you know, there's no disrespect. It's not like that. But, you know, I believe a lot of people don't know, you know, you got a type of music that's for the church, where it's for the believers who already believe, to uplift their spirits, to strengthen them. It's put on a level where they can understand. But if you're not in the church and you don't know the word, then when you hear it like that, you're not going to receive it. So I was like, I want to make music that people who are not saved can receive it, hear the message in it, and have an intent to get saved, or even, you know, have an intent to get to know what Christ is about. Because I want my music to actually save souls, or at least drive people to Christ so they can be saved. You know, I want to make a difference in that way. It's not about the money or the fame. You know, if you never know who AC the Future was, but you just happen to hear a song and you made it to somebody's church, I'm happy. If I never make $1 million, but you could say I saved 2 lives and that was my purpose, that's the purpose that Christ put in me, then I'm happy, man. It's not about being a millionaire. It's not about a record deal. It's not about none of that. And at the end of the day, you know, I'm humbling myself in Christ because I just want to be pleasing unto him and add to the kingdom. So I was like, I just see the difference that's needed. I see the people in the streets. You know, I was one of them, man. I was one of those people that was lost. All I heard was Jeezy and Lil Wayne and Ludacris. Not trying to down any artist, you know, but it's like that's what you hear, and those are the people who inspire you. You know, when you hear inspirational songs, you hear from people like that. You know, they're not promoting the church, they just promoting something better, but they're not really promoting Christ. So it's like, why can't somebody come along the way who's saved, but put it on a level for the people who's in the streets that don't know nothing about the church, but be like, yo, it's something better. It's something better than standing on the corner hustling to make that money. It's something better than getting welfare checks and food stamps to get by. It's something better than being in the project under the housing authority, you know? Why can't somebody come out with a message like that to help the people, but not put it in a way where they can feel like, oh, it's all about being in the church, but put it in a way where they can be like, it's somebody out there that loves me. Because that's really what they just need to hear. And I figure, you know, if don't nobody want to do that, then I'll do it.
By the power of Grayskull.
And it goes. Yeah. Child of God. So well, okay. Child of God. Motivate everything. Okay.